All right, so today we are going deep, really deep, into something we all have but don't always think about.
Deeper than deep.
Our subconscious minds. I'm so excited to dig into this one because, honestly, this stuff is powerful.
Oh, absolutely. And it's something that, like you said, we all have this incredible power.
Yeah, and sometimes, to be honest with you, it feels like it's working against us, you know?
It certainly can.
But to really understand how to work with it,
yeah,
we're going to be taking a deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind. This was written by Dr. Joseph Murphy, and it's pretty amazing.
it's a classic.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Now, I want to be clear. This isn't just going to be the Bic report, all right? We're going way beyond just summarizing what Dr. Murphy says. We're going to explore how we can actually use his insights and his techniques to create real change in our lives, like tangible results.
Yes, exactly. We're talking about practical applications and yeah, real change.
So where do we even begin with something as massive and mysterious as the subconscious mind?
Well, I think Dr. Murphy does a really good job of kind of laying out this core idea. You know, his basic premise is that our subconscious mind is this incredibly powerful force.
Okay.
And it's constantly shaping our reality, but it's shaping it based on what? On our ingrained thoughts, on our beliefs, whether we're aware of them or not.
So he's saying what we think deep down really becomes our reality.
That's exactly it. He even compares the subconscious mind to like a computer program.
Okay, I like that.
So whatever we're repeatedly putting in, you know, like our thoughts, that becomes the output, our experiences, you know, our circumstances.
So we're constantly feeding it negativity, doubt, fear.
Exactly. Then guess what? That's what we're going to see manifest in our lives. Stress, anxiety, you know, even attracting those very situations that we're trying to avoid.
It's funny because I feel like I've definitely experienced that. Like when you're so worried about something going wrong that it almost feels like you're almost willing it to happen.
Right. And that's your subconscious at work. It doesn't really distinguish between what you want and what you don't want. It just takes whatever you're giving it the most attention and runs with it.
So how do we break that cycle? How do we start feeding our subconscious mind more of what we actually want?
Well, that's where things like affirmations come in, right? It's about consciously choosing positive statements like, I am healthy, or I am attracting success, or I'm confident.
Yeah.
And you repeat them regularly. And what happens is you begin to actually reprogram those deep-seated beliefs.
So it's almost like rewiring our brains.
Yeah.
Creating new neural pathways or something.
Exactly. It's like training your mind to focus on solutions instead of problems, to focus on abundance instead of lack.
I like that. So it's not just wishful thinking. There's real, I guess, scientific mechanism behind it. But what about something like visualization? Isn't that a little bit out there, a little too woo-woo?
I mean, it can seem that way, right? But think about it. When athletes visualize themselves performing flawlessly, they're not just daydreaming. They're actually priming their muscles, their minds, for success.
Right.
They're building that neural pathway.
Interesting.
And so visualization, it's essentially tricking your subconscious. You're tricking it into believing that that desired outcome, it's more attainable, it's more real.
So it's like you're telling your mind, this is possible and this is where we're headed, so get on board.
Exactly. And that belief can then spark real-world action, you know, inspired action towards your goals.
That makes a lot of sense. But what about those like really stubborn negative beliefs, the ones that just feel impossible to shake?
Yeah, those can be a little trickier, you're right. But Dr. Murphy, he's adamant that it's absolutely possible to reprogram them. It just takes some work, you know?
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, the key, he says, is to be relentless in replacing those thoughts with positive ones. Don't give those negative thoughts any airtime.
Easier said than done.
It is. It takes effort, but it's worth it. You know, it's kind of like weeding a garden.
Yeah.
You've got to consistently pull out the negativity to make room for the good stuff to grow and flourish.
Right. I like that analogy. It's like we're gardeners of our own minds.
Yeah.
We got to nurture that positivity.
Exactly.
Speaking of nurturing, there's another really interesting concept that Dr. Murphy talks about, and that's the connection between our subconscious mind and our physical health.
Yeah, the mind-body connection.
Yeah, the mind-body connection.
Yeah.
Is he actually suggesting that our thoughts can influence our bodies.
That's exactly what he's saying. And, it might sound a little out there, but there's actually a growing body of scientific evidence that supports this idea.
Really?
Think about the placebo effect. You have people experiencing real physical changes
Oh, wow.
based solely on the belief that they're receiving treatment.
That's wild.
That's the power of the subconscious mind at work.
So if we can convince ourselves that we're healthy, that we're healing, could that actually impact our physical well-being?
It's a fascinating question, and honestly, one that I think deserves a lot more research and exploration. Imagine if we could harness that power to not only alleviate things like stress and anxiety, but also to actually boost our immune systems, accelerate healing.
That's incredible. And I imagine that this whole idea, this whole concept, it extends to other areas of life too, right? Like success in our careers, relationship.
Absolutely, every area. Imagine you're going for a job interview and, your subconscious is just riddled with self-doubt.
Oh, yeah.
You're probably going to unconsciously sabotage yourself, where you might not even realize you're doing it.
Right.
But if you've cultivated a deep belief in your abilities, that confidence is going to radiate. It's going to influence how you present yourself, how you answer questions. It's going to have a real impact on the outcome.
It's almost like our subconscious beliefs create a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if someone constantly believes they're unlucky in love, they might be unconsciously pushing away potential partners.
Exactly. They might be misinterpreting signals or behaving in ways that create distance. It's like their subconscious is working against them. And the same principle applies to, financial abundance, to creativity, really any area of life where limiting beliefs are holding us back. And Dr. Murphy, he really encourages us to ask ourselves, what if I could achieve this? What if this were possible for me? And then to let our subconscious mind do the work of aligning our actions and beliefs with that possibility.
So it really comes down to becoming aware of that power that we hold within. Because like we said at the beginning, we all have it.
We do.
So to kind of sum up Dr. Murphy's message, by consciously shaping our subconscious mind, we can quite literally shape our reality.
Exactly. And it all starts with identifying those limiting beliefs that are holding us back. What are those stories that we're telling ourselves? And then, start to reprogram them. Use techniques like affirmations, visualization, even just, consciously shifting our focus to solutions instead of problems. It's about cultivating a mindset that attracts success, happiness, and well-being.
All right. I think we've given everyone a lot to think about today.
I think so, yeah.
And we're going to leave you with a question, something to ponder.
Okay.
What is one limiting belief that you could start replacing today to unlock the true potential of your subconscious mind? So keep that in mind. And until next time, keep exploring.
Keep exploring.